Hey everybody, welcome back to War Buddies. Welcome to episode 3 of our Warcaster series, Jericho Reach. We're going to follow on directly from episode 2 storyline today. In episode 2, spoiler. So in episode 2, the Eternus Continuum had started to excavate underneath the old geyser fields. And the Alliance was sent in to run them out. And they actually got repelled. The AC won, and they forced them out. So the ISA force is now on its way back to get picked up by the Lawgiver. And they have run into an ambush in the middle of the Ark geyser fields, which is weird because the Marcher worlds shouldn't know that they're there, but they do. And we're going to jump directly into the action. So welcome to episode 3 of Warcaster.
Lawgiver, this is Commander Taria. We are under attack by Marcher forces. They came out of nowhere. We need reinforcements.
Void gates charging. Stand by.
And welcome back to sunny Jericho Reach. We are back in the Ark geyser fields where the ISA, in their retreat from the last scenario, have run into an ambush. So our scenario today is going to be from the First Contact Organized Play package that's available for free through Privateer Press. I will put a link in the description below. This is the first mission in that pack called Ark of Shadows. The way the scenario works is we have 4 objectives set up here. We have a main objective in the center, and then 3 others labeled 1, 2, and 3. So this is sort of the escalation type scoring, where at the end of the first pulse round, each objective is worth 1 point. At the end of the second pulse round, 2 points, so on and so forth. The trick is, at the end of each pulse round, we will roll a D3 and remove one of the outlying objectives. So center objective will always be in play, but 2 of the other objectives are going to disappear as the scenario continues. If you're wondering about these cool little discs, these are actually sent to us from Studio M, and they're objective halos, 3D printed. They come out looking like that. I just painted these up yesterday, actually. And it shows you a 1-inch gap around there. So the idea is you put an objective in the middle. It's a little gap in the middle for that. And then if a model has part of its base on top of the objective, you know they're within 1 inch. So thank you very much, Studio M, for sending those over, along with a bunch of other goodies that you'll be seeing in future battle reports. There will be a link in the description below where you can check out Studio M and all the 3D printing Warcaster shenanigans that they're up to. And it just wouldn't be a War Budgies report without some custom special rules. So our special rule for today is called Ark Overload. We've designated the 4 Ark geyser pieces there as being Ark Overload terrain. So every turn, after the second player has finished their turn, we're going to roll a d6 for each piece of terrain. If the die shows a 6, then that piece of terrain has overloaded and it sends out a wave of arc around it. When this happens, every unit within 2 inches of the piece of terrain suffers from the arc overload. If they are not at their maximum arc already, the owning player may choose to immediately add 1 arc to them. However, if that unit is already at its maximum arc, then their relays overload, they lose all of their arc, and suffer a POW 5 hit. That should be it for the scenario. I will write that rule down below so that you guys can check it out in the description. Otherwise, let's check out the armies and get this show rolling. And here's our heroic ISA team. This is going to be the same rundown as last episode, 6 units. We've got a Paladin Commander, Paladin Weaver. We got 2 squads of Paladin Enforcers with a Paladin Aegis on there. Get $1 every time I say Paladin. 2 Firebrands there in the back. We've got one with a Jack Hunter Cortex, a Shield, Glaive, and Harbinger Cannon. And our newest one has an Assault Rifle, Grenade Launcher, and an Immolator, and the Recon Cortex. So there's a 6-unit loadout for the ISA for this team. And here's the Marcher Worlds force for today. Still 6 units. We've got 2 Ranger Fire teams. We got a Weaver, we got a Hunter. Our trusty Duskwolf, the Thresher, is in the back there. He's got Scout Cortex, Rail Rifle, Battle Rifle, and Ripper. And then the new guy to the party, so model we have not yet seen on War Budgies. This is a Combat Engineer. That is a solo for the Marcher Worlds. He's got himself a little wrench and a Fusion Torch pistol, but the biggest thing about him is he has a whole host of actions he can do to help out his Warjack buddy. So he can jumpstart it, he can take activation tokens off of it, he can repair it, he can tune him up, all sorts of good stuff. So we're going to see how he runs today in this scenario. And with deployment done, let's take a look at what we got here. Over on the left-hand side, the ISA had to deploy first, but they will be going first. We've got Paladin Enforcers with the Paladin Weaver, ready for Objective 3 there. And then up here by this terrain, we've got the Shooty Firebrand, ready to do Shooty Firebrand things. Martial World side, the Dusk Wolf and his buddy have taken up position near Objective number 1. And a Ranger Fire team is here by the fence, ready to move in on the center. So let's get rolling into ISA, turn 1. ISA turn, the Warcaster charges the Warjack with 1 arc. And plays Ascension Catalyst, giving him +2 speed, pushing him up to 8 inches movement, and the flight special rule. Same Warjack will then shuffle up, sort of a low hover, ending up about 1 inch away from the objective halo. And just to get the party started, he's going to open up with the only gun in range, the Immolator with its 16-inch range, reaching out to try to tag the fire team. Rat 4 with 1 arc charge. 2 strikes. Ranger is caught out in the open and doesn't block anything. Pal 5, 2 red die against armor 3, and the first one's down. Good opening statement by the ISA. His corpse is also on fire, but since the rule says the model is on fire, not the unit, then these two are okay. Well, the Paladin Weaver comes around and is able to just barely contact this base. So he's now holding Objective 3. Good luck with that. No one's in range of his 8-inch handgun, that's all he gets. But our second cipher card will be Encrypted Command, just to remove that token from him. So he'll get to go again next round. He also drops a Void Gate at the limit of his 5 inches, flooding it with 5 arc, maximum arc. ISA is going to try to double its presence on the field next turn. It's worth noting he also put that just slightly out of the 2-inch range of the Arc Overload, just in case this thing cooks off. ISA Warcaster draws back up to 5 cipher cards, no discards, and we are over to Martial Worlds. Somewhat unsurprisingly, the Martial Worlds Warcaster will charge their Warjack, and will play Displacement Index on what's left of this squad. Since he has an activation token, they're feeling okay, they're going to shuffle up 3 inches. Combat Engineer is going to go first. He's going to use a special action instead of attacking to tune up the Dusk Wolf, which will give him a +1 to Mat, Rat, Strength, and Defense. And he'll finish with a Speed 5 shuffle around to the other side. Not particularly eager to get himself into combat yet. His Warjack buddy, on the other hand, will stomp forwards, immediately covering Objective 1, laying claim and planting a little Martial Worlds flag on it. And he's now looking at a plethora of possible targets. He's going to open up by putting the battle rifle arm into the only target within battle rifle range, the Firebrand. Rat 5 with 1 arc charge. Nice opener, 5 strikes. Firebrand rolling defense 3. 3 strikes, not bad, but not enough. Pal 4, 2 red die, armor 3. Solid hit, that's 2 of his 3 health, opening shot. Now he was saving the rail rifle for the Weaver, but we're going to switch targets. He's going to try to see if he can drop the Firebrand right off the bat with the rail rifle. At 5, 1 arc charge. Maybe, only 3 strikes. Firebrand defense 3. 2, all right, the Firebrand is going to spike to re-roll that. See if he can salvage a little bit here. There you go. Cost you an arc, but you're still in the game. To close out, the Warcaster is going to use Mortality Destabilizer to return and put you over here, out of line of sight. Much like their counterpart, they will drop a Void Gate with 4 arc in this case. All right, at the end of the second player's turn, we're going to roll for Arc Overload. We'd roll a d6 for each one of the terrain pieces, but right now the only one with models within 2 inches is this one. So we're going to roll this Budgie die. If it comes up a 6, the little Budgie face, then it is going to suffer Arc Overload. No, not this time. That is a 5. Start the ISA's turn. They add an arc back onto this Warjack because he's still got a little bit more work to do. By work to do, I mean what the Martial Worlds didn't know, obviously, is Impulse Inducer was in the hand. So he is fixing to lay down some hurt. Paladin Weaver's going to go first. He's going to come up and over the objective, ending up on the far side here where he can get some cover from the Arc Geyser while still holding the objective, and also put a target in his Fury range. Firebrand, still limping along, is going to come up here, occupy objective 4. Tuck him in there a little bit. And he's got some nice weapon distribution going on. So as a Firebrand, he is charged, so his bayonet is now 3 inches. So here's the plan. Assault rifle bayonet into the gate, grenade launcher into the squad, and the immolator into the Duskwolf. And hypothetically, that would work. So starting with the assault rifle bayonet combo against the gate, we're gonna start with the bayonet. We are mat 4 with 1 arc charge. Very nice stab. Gate defense 3. Only blocks 2, 4 get through. It's POW 3 with 4 red die, armor 5. Oh, that's at least 1. Yep, that's one arc down. Just sort of carve it off the side like Thanksgiving dinner. Assault rifle, same target. Only 2 strikes. Gate defense 3. And blocks it. Sending the grenade launcher into the fire team squad. Fire team squad. John, you don't make sense sometimes. Rat 4, grenades. 4 strikes. Defensive 3. Only blocks 1. It's only POW 3, but this is going to expand the blast. So armor 3 for the first target. He's down. Armor 3 for the second target with the blast damage. 1, 2. Up, he's down 2. And armor 3, can we get the full closure? There it is. The poof of dust, crater, and other tidbits that I'm not going to describe on a family channel. That squad disappears. What we learned from the last 2 episodes is that if you need to motivate a marauder, set him on fire. If you need to motivate a firebrand, almost kill him. Final shot will be to put the immolator into the Duskwolf. Rat 4, 1 arc. Oh, that's a hefty hit, 6 strikes. It is mathematically possible to block this, but not like that. 3 strikes get through. Immolator is a POW 5 against armor 4. 1, 2, only 1, just by a hair. Downside to that is to counter the tune-up, he is now on fire, so -1 Matt Rat. Firebrand pats himself in the head with his grenade launcher for a job well done. And we'll move to deployment. As the ISA empties the entire gate to bring Squad 2, the Paladin Aegis, and the other Firebrand onto the field. Paladin Weaver drops another gate, huddled up next to the geyser to hopefully give it a bit of cover, with 3 arc loaded onto it. Over the Marcher World side of the house, the Warcaster is going to charge the Combat Engineer for his upcoming shenanigans. And we'll play Interdiction Protocol, so for the rest of the pulse round, friendly warrior models within 5 inches of the Warjack will gain +2 defense, which should keep his little buddy safe. And the Combat Engineer is going to hustle up behind the Warjack, bring in his stuff. He's going to spike to use Jumpstart, which will remove the activation token, letting him go again. And we'll take the special action to do the tune-up action again, which he's not going to get another tune-up token, but he will remove the fire effect. As someone who plays ISA main, I can already tell I'm going to hate this guy. Which is actually kind of a compliment, as the Duskwolf spins up its weapons, and it's going to unleash some fury out here. A rifle going into the Firebrand, try to finish him off. We are rolling Rat 5 because the tune-up is back and the fire is out. 1 red die. 4 strikes is good. Versus defense 3. Oh, 4 strikes blocked. No, well now we gotta make a tough decision. I'm just kidding, we're not making any decisions. The Mark II problem solver is gonna spin up and try to finally put this guy down before the ISA can secure that into the board. Rat 5, 1 arc. That's the spirit. 7 strikes against defense 3. 6 red die. We really don't have to roll this, but I want to. Oh yeah. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. That would have dropped him from full health to nothing. And drop him in, it does, blasting a hole straight through his cortex, and he crumples. And then just to add insult to injury, Impulse Endure, Want to watch me do it again? As the gate spits out a Coalition Weaver and another Ranger Fire team. The Marchers drop their next Void Gate within 5 inches of their board edge, up here on the north side, kind of eyeballing Objective 2. At the end of that turn, we're going to roll for Arc Overload on the terrain. So the big one in the back next to the Void Gate. On a 6, it will overload. Nope. This one here surrounded by ISA. 6 to overload. 5 came close. And this one here next to the Martial Worlds. 6 to overload. Nope, not this time. We're going to move on to the last turn of Pulse Round 1. Good news to the ISA Warcaster is that Squad 2 is in town and they know what's up. So they're going to charge 1 Arc onto Squad 2. And then give them Reiteration Complex, everyone's favorite double tap. Squad 2 and their Aegis buddy will then shuffle up. Put it within 2 inches there. Firmly securing Objective 4. At least for the moment. We'll put you over here. And they're going to try to rain absolute hellfire into this batch of stupid rebels in front of them. As a reminder, everyone's getting 2 shots to include the Aegis, so we're just going to start burning through this. We're going to go around the horn, starting with targeting the Ranger Fire team. Everybody's going to be Rat 3 with 1 Arc. Shot number 1. See, that's the Team 2 we all know and love. And fear and despise and loathe, depending who you are. Defense 3. Blocks 3. Power 4 against Armor 3. First one drops. And it begins. Shot number 2, Ranger Fire team. 4 strikes. Defense 3. Only 1 gets through this time. Power 4, Armor 3. Nope, he's down 2. 1 gun, 2 bullets, 2 kills. Shot number 3. Only 1 strike. This model does have cover from the edge of the container. They block it all. Shot number 4. 4 strikes. Defense with cover. 4, oh, just barely blocked that one. Shot number 5. 2 strikes. Defense with cover. Blocks it. Shot number 6. Oh boy, I think we finally chewed through that container. Or did we? Maybe there's some ballistic armor in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's not. 3 strikes to get through. Yeah, that's what I thought. Freaking absolute monsters here. Had to break out the measuring sticks from Fallout for this one. He does just barely have line of sight. You can draw a line from some of his volume, from the Aegis' volume to the Weaver's. So the Aegis is going to get to join in on the fun. He's also Rat 3 with the charge, firing his Force Generator. 3 strikes. Weaver is most definitely in cover and with defense 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, blocks it. Second shot due to Reiteration Complex. 3 strikes again. Weaver defense. Blocks it again. Still an absolutely brilliant showing from the heroes we've all come to know and love at Squad 2. Utterly wiping out that fire team and pretty well securing this. They now have 4 models on the objective with cover because the Aegis is charged. Well, the only solo on the board, unfortunately, has already gone, so that concludes the actions or activations. But the Weaver is going to use Instability Equation and slap that over here on the Dusk Wolf. Focus 4 with 3 Arc in the tank. Wow, good roll, Wells. Defense 3 for technically being out in the open. Holy crap, 7 strikes. He one-shot blows the arms off this thing. Taria is never going to hear the end of it. 7 strikes, POW 4. It's armor 4 with 1 health off. So if we have 8 strikes here, this thing's going down immediately. And it's hard to roll this many dice with 1 hand, but we're going to do what we can. Shuffle them a little bit. Here we go. Aiming for 8. Oh, I'm not that good at math, but this is already looking pretty. 1 health, 2 health. That was almost full from the top. Shots and gunnery here. Wells does a little motion with his hand, and suddenly the Dusk Wolf explodes into flame. Explosion Blast is going to catch the Engineer, since this is the first time he's actually been shot at, just to let you know. He has 2 health and 4 armor. Take a POW 4 hit from the blast. He's fine. Probably really not fine. That is probably not an okay thing to witness up close. As usual with Warcaster, some crazy dice rolls have completely swung the balance of power, one of my favorite things about the game. And we're going to see how well the Martial Worlds can recover from this, going into the last part of Pulse Round 1. Start the Martial Worlds turn, they will put another Ark onto this Void Gate, bringing it up to 4 Ark. And we'll play Encrypted Command on the Engineer. Since this is the last part of the Pulse Round, he needs to shuffle about, an inch forwards. And that's exactly what he'll do. He'll shuffle around here, getting his foot on the objective, and he'll fire his little fusion torch over at Squad 2. At 3 in the fusion torch. 3 strikes. Squad 2 has cover from the Aegis being charged. And they just barely block it. Be careful, buddy, they might take that personally. Meanwhile, the Weaver is going to duck around the back of this cargo container. I'll put the camera down and measure him. At speed 6, he just barely manages to make it around the back. He will not make it to the objective this turn. Bummer. He will likewise fire his little handgun into Squad 2. Rat 3 in the handgun. 2 strikes. Squad in cover. Hey, 1 got through. 1 strike, POW 3, armor 3. Oh, he manages to drop 1. Oh, they're definitely going to take that personal. Final software card, he's then going to follow it up with a Null Collider shot to try to take away their cover. Focus 4, 3 Ark in the tank. That's a pretty good shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 against their cover. 1, 2, okay, they block it. Good, because that cover is super valuable out here in the open. All right, so right now the Marchers are feeling kind of outnumbered and a little outgunned. So it is time for reinforcements. So let's see who wants to come through the Void Gate. That would be a really good name for a podcast. Void Gate spits out a double squad of Ranger Fire Team. Meanwhile, the Engineer misses his robot buddy, so he will drop a gate here. Again, tucking it in because the guys are for cover. And drop 4 Ark on it. All right, it's the end of the turn, so before we start scoring, we're going to run some Ark Overload, see if anyone gets a nice surprise or a nasty surprise. Starting with the flat one over here. Overload on a 6. It overloads. So every unit that is not at its full arc within 2 inches, the owning player may immediately add 1 arc. Their relays are more than capable of handling the surge. So the Martial Worlds bump this gate up to 5. ISA will charge the Weaver. And we'll add a 4th arc to this gate. Now the problem is Squad 2 is already at their maximum and they are within 2 inches. So their arc relay short out, they lose their arc, and they will take a POW 5 hit. POW 5 against armor 3. Oh, you lucky son of a gun. And that closes out Pulse Round 1. So the geyser fields are very volatile, very crazy, lots going on here. ISA, everything is worth 1 point right now, so ISA is going to hold objective 3 and the center objective for 2 points. Martial Worlds holds this one, not quite that one over there, so they will get 1 point. So we are 2-1 ISA. Let's see which point vanishes now. As a reminder, the center point cannot vanish, it will always be here. Otherwise, we're gonna roll a D3, and the winner is, oh, that's bad news for ISA. So objective 3 is going to disappear. And with that, we'll launch straight into Pulse Round 2. At the start of the ISA Warcaster's turn, they're going to charge Squad 2 again, get that sweet cover bonus back in place. And in the hopes of the Immortal Squad 2 holding this position, they're going to use Plexus Densifier, giving them +2 armor and -1 speed. First move is going to go to the Paladin Weaver, who will spike at the beginning of his turn in order to add the contents of the well, only 2 arc at this point, onto the nearby Firebrand. Until then, take a move hustling up here, mostly trying to get away from whatever's about to come out of that gate. Paladin forces down here, hustle up 6 inches. And they will put shots into the Void Gate as it is a convenient target. We have no arc charge, and the gate has cover against all but one of them. So we're going to start with the guy who can shoot straight. Rat 3. 2 strikes. 8 defense 3. Blocks it. Shot number 2. 1 strike. Somewhat predictably, the gate blocks it. Final shot coming in. 2 strikes. And wow, hella blocked. Second cipher card, the Weaver will cast No Collider onto the green gate over here. No arc in the well. Still gets 5 strikes. Gate is firmly in cover. And 1 gets through. 1 power die plus POW 3. You're going against armor 5. Nothing doing there. But since it is No Collider, just the fact that they hit is going to remove 1 arc. This Void Gate dumps 3 of its 4 arc, bringing the other Firebrand and the Paladin Commander onto the field. Meaning the ISA is now mostly, except for 1 Paladin Enforcer, has arrived. Squad 2 likes to drop a gate here, and they will load it with all the remaining arc in the well, which is 3 arc. On the March World's turn, Warcaster will charge one of the 2 fire team rangers, ranger fire teams, whatever. And the Weaver will throw Malediction Rubric onto Squad 2 here. They currently have Plexus Densifier on. If Malediction Rubric hits, then all cipher cards on that unit immediately expire. And they suffer a damage roll. Martial Worlds has 2 arc in the tank. Only 2 strikes. Do have cover from the force field being up. And they block it handily. Start the Martial Worlds activation. Ranger Fire Team is going to advance 6 inches. Coming up close to the objective. And they are all 3 going to toss their null detonators at the fresh gate. So these weapons with no POW, if they hit, they simply strip away 1 arc. So first shot, Rat 3 with an arc. Good hit on the first one. 8 has defense 3. All right, so the gate loses an arc. Second grenade. 2 strikes. Void Gate defense 3. Another one gets through. Last grenade. Oh, that's gonna work. 5 strikes against, and there it is. These guys all run by, toss their grenades, strip away the void, and this thing blinks out of existence. They will then spike their arc in order to move 3 inches and rally up onto the objective. The Coalition Weaver is going to go for the solo activation. He will flatten himself against this container, try to get the best cover he can from this squad, and he'll shoot his little gun into the Firebrand. Rat 3 with no arc. 1 strike. Firebrand defense 3. Blocks it. That was all just a diversion. We're going to throw Pyrokinetic Surge next onto the same Firebrand. Archers have focus 4 with 3 arc in the tank. Not bad. 4 strikes. Firebrand defense 3. Oh, just shy of it. So he is on fire and 1 strike gets through. POW 3, 1 strike against armor 3. Nothing happens. Nothing happens except the giant death robot bursting into flame. That happens. In much more exciting news, the Duskwolf and the Hunter both appear out of this gate, which now has 1 arc remaining. And they are hopefully here to cause some trouble. Fire Team will drop a Void Gate right back here into cover. It's kind of hard to see. They will load it with 3 arc. That wraps Martial Worlds. They're essentially trying to pull a sort of a pincer maneuver thing. If they can hold objective 1 and they can hold objective 2, then they will be up 2, so they'll be up 1 because they're trailing by 1 point right now. There's not a whole lot of hope of getting that middle objective yet. There's still a lot. It's still very, very crowded there. But if they can start here, work their way in, they'll be in good shape. Right now we have arc sitting around everywhere, so let's try for some arc overload, beginning with the big one in the back next to the fire team. 6 is to overload. Does not. Smaller geyser here by the engineer. 6 is to overload. Nope. And the big troublesome one with like everybody next to it. This could get wild. It does not. ISA's turn, they go to charge the burning firebrand, which is a little funny, with 1 arc. And immediately cast aggression theorems that he can retaliate against that sneaky little weaver. Charging at the immolator, he's down to rat 3 because he's on fire. 1 arc. 4 strikes is not bad. Weaver is in cover with defense 4, so 4 strikes against. Oh, he blocks it. So the position the ISA is in, they've got a strong foothold at the center, but they are currently outnumbered on objectives. But one of those objectives, either 1 or 2, is going to go away before pulse round 3 starts. So the thinking is they can devote some of their firepower to holding the middle and then aim for one or the other. Try to use these cargo crates here in the center to sort of cut them off. Essentially split the board in 2. And given the positioning and all the lines of sight and all that, and the quite a few number of rangers up there, they're going to aim for objective 1 and see how they do with that, getting rid of the Dusk Wolf. Our first customer is going to be the Paladin Commander. Swings around the edge of the terrain here and will engage the Hunter at stabby range. Rat 4 with the Fusion Sword. Minor stabs. Hunter's defense 4. And the Hunter blocks it. His Warjack is going to leapfrog around his buddy. Moving his 6. Taking his 2 arc with him. Come on. And he's going to shoot his Harbinger cannon in after the Weaver. See if he can start trying to plug this gap here. Rat 4 with 2 arc. Solid hit. 5 strikes. Defense 4 and cover for the Weaver. 1, 2, 3. 2 strikes get through. POW 4, 2 strikes against armor 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just shy of killing him. Drops him down to 1. Everything else he has is a melee weapon, so that wraps that up. Next Cypher card, the Weaver is going to try to cryo-lock the Dusk Wolf and take him out of action immediately. Goes 4 with 2 arc in the tank. Good opener. 1, 2, 5 strikes. Defense 3 on the Dusk Wolf because he is just out of cover range. And he is tagged by cryo-lock. And it adds an activation token to him as his Cortex goes through the blue screen of death. Squad 2 drops a Void Gate with 2 arc on the safe side of this container. Safe being, relative term. Moving to the Marcher World's turn, the Warcaster will charge the Engineer. The Engineer, thinking very quickly, moves up to the edge, still holding the objective. And as a special action, he will tune up the Jack and will then spike to turn it off and back on again. And John forgot a Cypher card, didn't he? So before that happens, we're going to use Aggression Theorem, Mark II Problem Solver into the Paladin Commander. Rat 4 on the Problem Solver. 2 strikes. Defense 3 on the target. She blocks it anyways. It turns out there are dice gods and they do not appreciate it when you miss something and then try to go back for it, so usually nothing happens. But as you can imagine, we're now going to move on to the Dusk Wolf's turn because he's got some business to take care of. Business is mostly going to consist of shuffling back just a little bit so that he can put the Ripper into the Paladin Commander and then open up with his guns on anybody he wants. Ripper against the Commander, he's running Mat 5 now with tune-up. 3 strikes is not bad. Paladin defense 3. She blocks it. Next up is the Battle Rifle going into this squad right here. Rat 5. 4 hits. They're out in the open, defense 3. Oh, that's not good. Battle Rifle's POW 4 against armor 3. Deleted. Poor squad 1. Always lagging behind their brothers. In the midst of a lot of targets, the Mark II Problem Solver is now going to fire into the Firebrand with his shield, try to get his attention, take some chunks off so that hopefully they can deal with him. Rat 5 thinks to tune up. 4 strikes. Firebrand out in the open. Oh, blocks it. That's what his giant shield is for. Giant shield, giant shield. Good for blocking rail rifles, apparently. Marcher World's Warcaster is going to play Annihilation Vector on the Dusk Wolf, get an immediate melee attack against the Paladin Commander. Mat 5. No, that seems like a waste. 1 strike. Defense 3, does it do anything? She takes it on the shield. I'm sorry, this is Taria, hero of the campaign, and she'll be having none of your rail rifles or melee attacks or ripper attacks. Thank you. Marcher Worlds have both Void Gates on the board and nobody to spit out yet. They are completely on the board, every unit, every model. So we're going to go straight into Ark Overload. Big old Ark Geyser in the back. Overload on 6. Nope. This one. Nope. And the big one that everyone's worried about on 6. Killing me. Yep, 5 it is. Let's move on to the next turn. At the start of the ISA turn, all the Ark is currently on the board. They're actually going to pull the 1 Ark from this gate and collapse it. And with that, they're going to try to throw a pyrokinetic surge across the board onto the engineer this time. Focus 4 with 1 Ark in the tank. All right, 3 strikes. Engineer's defense 2. 1 gets through. Power 3 against armor 4. Oh, wow, took 1 out. He is on fire. And he takes 1 health. He's down to 1 left. Squad 2 is going to lead the activations. Really is just down to them or the firebrand that's on fire. And given his limited rat, we're just going to let these guys in their arc charge see what they can do. Squad 2 is going to take the activation here. It's really just between them and the firebrand. Firebrand's a little inconsistent and is currently on fire, so we're going to go with this squad and see what they can do. They're going to optimistically put shots into the hunter, who is sitting in quite a bit of cover. So the squad is going to spike, allowing them to ignore cover for this activation. Let the Aegis go first since he didn't get to play much last turn. Rat 3, 2 strikes. Hunter is defense 4, no cover, blocks it. Second shot, Rat 3, 3 strikes, Hunter defense 4. Oh, 2 of them get through. The Hunter's weakness, getting shot in the face. He's got 2 armor and 1 health, and that is the end of him. So with him deleted, that means that the last shot can actually go into the engineer, and if they can knock him down and the marchers can't reactivate the Dusk Wolf, they'll at least have denied this objective. And they pull it off with a single bullet at Rat 3. Probably not. The engineer's only defense 2, so maybe. No. Okay, that was the opposite. And unfortunately, the Cypher cards are not going to help out on this one. So the Hunter's down, which is good, but the engineer still holds it, so the only chance they have of denying that objective is if he happens to burst into flame and fall over before we go into scoring. This unit will drop a Void Gate with 2 Arc, partially as a distraction, partly as an insurance policy, just in case this turns into more of a fight than they're ready for. On the Marcher World's turn, the Warcaster will immediately charge 1 Arc onto the Warjack. Seems kind of an unusual move, unless you have something like Impulse Inducer to remove his activation token. Thusly charged up, he's going to apply the Ripper to the commander and see if he can't knock her back into that Arc Geyser. Mat 5 because of tune-up, plus an Arc charge. It's good, 5 strikes. The commander's defense 3. Oh, that's not gonna be pretty. 4 red, 4 white. Holy crap. And she's still here. 1 health, but still here. Now time to look for something a little squishier. You can charge up the rail rifle, Mark II problem solver, into the Coalition Weaver. I'm sorry, the Paladin Weaver. I just demoted you to Stinking Rebel, didn't I? Yeah, Cortex is charged, so he's not going to get covered against this. Rat 5, 1 charge. There you go, 5 strikes. Defense 3, no cover. That is terrible news, little buddy. 5 red, 5 white, armor 3, 2 health. Oh, he's gone. We're just gonna escort you to the infirmary. Post haste. Then he'll put his battle rifle into these guys before they can get any closer. Try to protect his little buddy there. Still rat 5. That was pretty good. 6 strikes. Now you back a Warjack into a corner, this is what you get. Defense 3. 4 strikes get through. 4 red, 4 white. Yep, that's what I thought. And squad 1 goes down to 1 survivor. Just to make a point, the Dusk Wolf then scoots back, puts 1 foot on the objective, and dares anyone to come take it from him. Final suffer cards, they're going to use Kinetic Accelerator, which would give him sort of a whirlwind melee attack, but mostly this is just to cycle it out of the deck. And with another Brilliant Shimmer, a brand new fresh out the box Hunter will pop out here in cover. The Engineer will then drop a 2 Arc Gate into this gap here by the containers. What a wild pulse round that was. So we're going to roll for Arc Overload. We're going to resolve continuous effects and score some pulse round. As usual, we'll start with Old Faithful in the back. Overload on 6. Nope. Little flat one here in the middle on 6. Negative. And then this guy over here on 6. Come on. No. Not coming up quite as often as I'd like, but hey, it's an experimental roll. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of the Arc Overload rule. We may see it more often since Jericho Reach is kind of a mess when it comes to these geyser fields. Resolving our units on fire, we're going to start with the Firebrand. We roll an action die. On a blank face, the fire goes out. On strikes, he takes damage equal to strikes. Fire goes out for the Firebrand. He's good. Now for the big finish for the Engineer Buddy. He's got 1 health left. Is he saved? Nope. That's not how that works. You did good, bud. You did real good. It's a really convenient time to have Impulse and Juicer a minute ago. Otherwise, that would be an empty objective. All right, end of pulse round 2. All objectives are worth 2 points now, so let's see how we do. Marcher Worlds, holding 2 objectives, gaining 4 points. Added to their 1, they stand at 5 now. ISA only holds the center objective, they go to 4. So we have squeaked out a Marcher Worlds lead by 1 point going into pulse round 3. First, we have to randomly remove one of these objectives. So on a 1, 2, or 3, it'll be 1. 4, 5, or 6, it'll be 2. Marcher Worlds really wants to hang on to number 2. So which one's going to disappear? Yeah, there you go. Number 1 disappears. So the only objectives left going into pulse round 3 are going to be the center and the one up here. Marcher Worlds do have a lead by 1 point, so the ISA is going to have to oust them while holding their objective. Otherwise, it's Marcher Worlds' victory. Start the ISA turn. All of their arc is currently on the board. So we're going to jump straight into Cypher cards. We're going to play Momentum Calibrator on the Stabby Firebrand. It'll add a knockback effect to his attacks essentially, but again, they're mostly using it to cycle the deck. And that same Warjack will shuffle up 6 inches and bring the Wrath of the Lawgiver onto this Weaver. Going to open up with this shield first in the hopes of bashing the Weaver right offhand and then using his sword against the gate. So we are 2 arc charged, mat 4. Not great, not terrible. Weaver is defense 4 and blocks it. In that case, we're going to go straight to the sword, into the Weaver. Still mat 4. 4 strikes. Man, I hyped you up with the whole Wrath of the Lawgiver thing. This is not the time for this. Defense 4. 3, 4, and he misses again. Well, fortunately, his Cortex is working enough to know that he's got other priorities. So the Harbinger Cannon is going to go into the Ranger Fire team there. Rolling for strafe. 1 strafe attack. Shooting the first target. That is a lot of strikes. Fire team defense 3. That is not a lot of strikes. 4 red, 4 white. Not surprisingly close, but still gets him. Target down. The strafe attack. Not bad, 4 strikes. Defense 3. Not a 1. Just gonna go ahead and remove them. All right, so decently heroic, but he is kind of wedged in here now. Still got a 3 arc gate right behind him. A little bit of a fire team there. the Weaver to deal with, and then all these guys around the corner. So not the best situation. The commander is going to rush in here and engage in an epic duel with the Dusk Wolf. Hopefully epic, I guess we'll find out. Match 3. 2 strikes. Before we roll defense, I completely forgot to see if the tune-up expires. So let's check for that real quick. Yes, the tune-up expires. Engineer guy's gonna take some getting used to around here. All right, so Tarja had 2 strikes on him. He's got defense 3 now that tune-up's done. And 2 strikes go through. Watch out, buddy. This woman built her reputation on killing Dusk Wolves. 2 red die, POW 4. See, I talked her up and now it kind of falls flat. Closing out the activations there. Warcaster's gonna use Annihilation Vector. Gonna give Stabby McStabface 1 more shot at that Weaver. Mat 4, 2 red die. That is an excellent roll. That was 6 strikes against, 4 strikes get through. This might be it. Power of the attack is equal to a strength of 4. And there he goes. So after all that dueling and dancing, the Warjag just kind of backhands him into the crate and he slumps to the ground. For deployment, the Paladin Weaver is going to pop out of this gate forthwith. Warcaster discards a card and draws back up to 5, basically frantically hoping to get Impulse Inducer. Because again, if they can hold this spot against these guys, and then have this fairly epic Firebrand put a single foot on the objective, then it will be an ISA victory. March of World's turn, they will put another Ark onto the Dusk Wolf. The intention of him is to basically wreak havoc on the back lines here, occupy the ISA, while the Rangers move in to secure that objective. Moving along those lines, they will start off with Displacement Index on this far squad to sort of hustle them up, ending with them right about there. Dusk Wolf is going to rev the chainsaw and try to take apart the commander. 4, 2 Arc Charge, 4 strikes, defense 3. This doesn't look good. POW 4 Ripper, and that's the end of that. The commander goes down. There is no other target nearby for the Ripper, otherwise we would get the cleave attack. He's then going to point his battle rifle into Squad 2, who is currently not charged and therefore not gaining cover. Rat 4, 2 red die. That is a really good shooting. 7 strikes, only 1 of which gets blocked. Sometimes you just want to save a bit of time, you know. And then the rail rifle is going to spin up and try to knock down this Firebrand. Gonna have ourselves an old-fashioned Warjack shootout here. 3 strikes, defense 3, blocks it, all right. Dusk Wolf gets +1 speed for every arc it's under, so he is now speed 7. He will jump over here, put his foot on the objective, and that's going to be a problem. While the Hunter moves around here, staying close to cover, and he'll put a shot into the newly arrived Weaver. At 6. Oh, this is going to sting a little bit. Weaver defense 3. Okay, 3 strikes. This is still probably going to hurt. It's going to be POW 4 with 3 strikes. He needs 6 to drop him outright. And 6 he gets. All starting to fall apart for the old ISA right now. Being a Hunter and entirely full of shenanigans, he's then going to move 3 inches because he just made a ranged attack. Warcaster uses Mortality Destabilizer on the damage squad, reinforcing them with 1 extra body. In front of the gate down here will appear Coalition Weaver, here to cause more trouble. The gate up here will appear an Engineer, mostly because he's super tanky with armor 4, and he can help to hold this objective. Moving into the ISA turn, we are reaching the point where there are no solos currently on the board. Not a great place to be. We've got 2 damaged squads and 2 Warjacks, which are doing good work, but this is a lot to ask out of them. So we're going to charge Firebrand that does not have a token yet. ISA Warcaster's turn, they're looking at some tough options here. Still no sign of Impulse Inducer to free this guy up. There's just not a lot of options here right now. So going to charge up Shooty McShooter here. So what the ISA needs to do is they need to hold one and at least deny the other one. So the question is, do they try to hold number 4? Do they try to hold number 2? Which one do they try to deny? It's a tough call, honestly, because one swingy dice roll and you might be in trouble. So what they're going to do is they're going to take Ascension Catalyst onto the Shooty guy, and he is going to go for a little trip across the cargo containers. Ending up right there. His foot is not on the objective. You can't really see around him from here, but he is in a position to potentially deal out some damage here shortly. Putting up with his assault rifle bayonet into the engineer, 2 arc, mat 4. Good opener, 5 strikes. Engineer defense 2. Only 1. 4 strikes, POW 3, but this guy is armor 4. And still has 1 health left. Assault rifle into him. Not bad. Defense 2. Only 1. POW 4, 3 strikes, needs to break armor 4 1 time. And he gets it. First casualty of this crash landing into the back row. You will then turn his grenade launcher onto these 2, standing here on the objective. Rat 4, 2 arc. Nice shot. 6 strikes against defense 3. 3 strikes get through. Trying to break armor 3 on the main target. Armor 3 broken. And dropping a POW 3 hit on the secondary target, also trying to break armor 3. Got him too. This is how you make an entrance, folks. This right here. And then with the immolator, he's going to shoot through this gap at the Dusk Wolf. Rat 4. Decent. 5 strikes. Dusk Wolf defense 3. Okay, blocks 2, 3 of them get through. This is POW 5 going against armor 4. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 2 health off, and he's on fire. This guy has absolutely sealed his place in Taria's strike team. Holy friggin' crap. He's the only one that gets activate because there are no solos on the board right now. But we're going to throw Aggression Theorem and try to use a grenade launcher one more time to punch at this squad. Time for the big finish. Okay, 4 strikes. Defense 3. Oh, it's a good hit. 4 strikes, POW 3 on the main target, trying to break armor 3. Main target disintegrated. And now can we get a perfect run? We're going to do blast damage on each of the other 2. The trick is they're both armor 3 and this is a POW 3 blast. So if we can take both of them, that will clean out the entire back half of the board. So let's see here. First one. Oh, just not quite. And the other one. The other one goes down. Leaves a single survivor from all that on the back row. The catch is the ISA has not drawn Impulse Inducer. It is still in the deck somewhere. So those 2 Warjacks did good work, but they are currently stuck where they're at. ISA turn. This gate's gonna fall apart and spit out yet another, like a vending machine, yet another Paladin Weaver. Paladin Commander will arrive through this one. Can't do a whole lot in this case, but we'll see. Archers are going to put an arc onto the Hunter, hopefully protect him from some fire. That does give him stealth. And their opening card is going to be Aggression Theorem, played on the Dusk Wolf so he can tear in with his Ripper at this range. They really want this objective. 5 strikes might get it for him. Defense 3. No, this is bad. 3 red die, POW 4. Yep, he's down. And as a cleave attack, he'll move into the Aegis. Same story, 2 red die, mat 4. Only 3, this might not work. Aegis is as defense 3. And blocks it. A little shield generator thing to good use, aren't you, buddy? Marchers are gonna run up, put a foot on the objective. Just for the hell of it, throw a null grenade at the nearest firebrand. Rat 3. Meh, swing and a miss. Coalition Weaver is going to be very bold. Move up towards Taria. Try to use his battle staff to knock her backwards a little bit and just basically stall from getting up here. At 3. 1 strike. Defense 3. Blocked. March of World Cipher card is going to be Force Barrier, played on the last survivor there, just to give her cover and hopefully prevent her from getting shot off. And it's all coming down to the wire. March of Worlds are not going to summon any more units. We technically could bring out the Engineer, but right now every March of Worlds unit has an activation token, so that will give them maximum options on turn 3. Rolling for Arc Overload before we move into the final bit. For this one, 6th Overload. Dice, please. There we go. And the one in the back, 6th Overload. No. Maybe this rule will come up more often in the future. All right, last turn, last pulse round. The ISA are really a tight spot here. This guy still has his foot on the objective, and unless he explodes into fire, he will probably hold it. She's got that objective, so there's not a whole, we don't have impulse inducer or anything. So what we're gonna hope for is a really bold play here in a second, as all Crux moments should have. ISA Warcaster is actually going to strip both Arc off of the back firebrand. That gives the Warcaster 4 Arc in the well, which is good, because we're gonna start off with Null Collider from Wells into the Hunter. 4 red, 4 white. That is an amazing shot. 10 strikes against, ooh, an impressive retaliation. Still 5 strikes get through. Second armor 2. Yep. The Hunter drops. I'm not going to reveal the entire ISA plan. We're just going to see how it plays out. Our first squad activation, the Aegis is going to open up into the Dusk Wolf. Rat 3. 4 strikes. Defense 3. Only 1 gets through. Out 3, 1 red die, trying to break armor 4. No, he cannot. Wells is going to shoot his handgun back into the Dusk Wolf. Rat 3. 3 strikes. Defense 3. Oh, all 3 of them get through. POW 3, 3 strikes against armor 4. There it is. Knocks the arc relay off the back and he slumps down. This objective now belongs to the Alliance. His movement, he's going to loop around here and get ready for what is hopefully the last beautiful dice roll of the game. We'll find out. Because as it stands right now, if the game ended right this second, Marchers would win by 1 point. So if they cannot remove that one Ranger, the one orange-haired fire team, then it's over. So, final shot with 4 Arc in the well, but with her having Force Barrier, Pyrokinetic Surge. This is why I play war games, folks. It all comes down to this. 4 focus, 4 Arc in the well. Here's Wells' attack. Oh, that's not that high. 5 strikes. We're gonna keep rolling. She has defense 3. She is in cover thanks to Force Barrier, which may be the greatest thing that the March Orders ever threw at her. 5 strikes versus, for the win, for 1 gets through. This is a POW 3 weapon. She's got armor 3. And she's down. And that is game, folks. With that, at the end of this turn, the ISA will gain 3 for having objective 4, 3 points. Giving them 7 to the March of Worlds 5, just barely, and I mean barely, squeaking out a win by a single dice roll. Lawgiver, situation secure.
Fine work, Paladin. Clean up, report to the command deck as soon as you're back.
Sir?
Giving you command of the Lawgiver's task force. Find the Marcher Warcaster and eliminate him.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. As always, leave your comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, if there are models or units that you want to see featured, or just kind of let us know what you think of the special rules and the little narrative gimmicks we got going on. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.